As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. These fruits raise stroke risk overnight. You still believe that eating fruit before bed is a healthy habit, don't you? But what if I told you that some fruits, which seem completely harmless, could send you to bed feeling perfectly fine and have you waking up unable to speak a full sentence? Would you believe me? I once had a patient like that. Just because of the dessert she ate that evening, the next morning she had to be rushed to the hospital for an emergency stroke treatment. What happened during the night, and why was it directly linked to a type of fruit you might have sitting right now in your refrigerator? Are you ready to hear the truth that could forever change the way you look at fruit? 1. Packaged fruit juice, the hidden culprit in the fridge. Have you ever opened your fridge at night and told yourself, just one glass of orange juice, it'll help me sleep better? That is exactly what Evelyn, 68, had been doing for many years. She believed bottled orange juice was convenient, rich in vitamin C, and good for strengthening her immune system. But one morning, she woke up unable to move her left arm properly. Her speech was slurred, and her daughter had to call emergency services immediately. Can you imagine that feeling? Going to bed healthy, only to wake up and find your whole world suddenly tilted. When we examined her, we found she didn't smoke, didn't drink alcohol, and had no history of heart disease. But there was one notable detail. She drank at least 2 glasses of packaged fruit juice every night. A large-scale study from the Interstroke Project revealed that high consumption of packaged juices, especially those with added sugar and preservatives, can triple the risk of hemorrhagic stroke. Why? The simple sugars in these drinks cause blood sugar and blood pressure to spike, triggering inflammation in the brain's blood vessels. And while you sleep, your body is more prone to thicker, stickier blood, ready to form clots. Do you realize what that means? A seemingly small habit repeated night after night can build up into a real-life nightmare. What worries me most is that many people still equate fruit juice with healthy, forgetting that bottled juice has lost most of its fiber and easily oxidized vitamins, and instead contains sugar, flavoring agents, and sometimes even industrial fructose syrup. So if you love fruit, would eating it whole during the day be safer? And if I told you there's a fresh fruit you eat almost every day that could also carry hidden risks, would you want to know what it is?
2. Ripe bananas, potassium and blood pressure fluctuations. Have you ever heard the advice that eating a banana before bed can help you fall asleep faster and prevent nighttime hunger? That was exactly the habit of Howard, 72. He was generally healthy, still did light exercise every morning, but had recently been experiencing dizziness upon waking. One night, after eating 2 ripe bananas late in the evening, he woke up at 3 a.m. with an irregular heartbeat and cold sweat soaking his forehead. At the hospital, his readings showed an abnormally low blood pressure, irregular heart rhythm, and potassium levels above the safe range. Did you know that in older adults, even a slight imbalance in potassium can be enough to trigger dangerous arrhythmias? Bananas are an excellent source of potassium, a mineral essential for heart and nervous system health. However, in seniors, especially those with reduced kidney function or who are taking diuretics or ACE inhibitors, consuming too much potassium at once can overwhelm the kidney's ability to filter it. As a result, potassium accumulates in the blood, reducing the efficiency of electrical signal transmission in the heart muscle, leading to slow, weak, or irregular heartbeats. More dangerously, this often happens at night when the body is at rest, making the symptoms subtle while the risks increase. Do you see how this is completely opposite to the golden fruit for heart health image that most people believe? So is the solution to avoid bananas entirely? Not necessarily. Seniors can still eat bananas, but they should consume them during the day in smaller portions and combine them with other foods to avoid a rapid potassium spike. But if a fruit widely considered healthy can still be risky, could there be another fruit you eat that poses danger through an entirely different mechanism, one that thickens your blood in just a few hours? Would you like to know what that is?
3. Watermelon, diuretic effect and thicker blood. Have you ever felt thirsty in the evening and thought that a few cool slices of watermelon would quench your thirst and help you sleep better? That was Ming's habit. He's 65, especially on hot nights. But one evening, after eating half a watermelon at around 9 p.m., he woke up multiple times to urinate. The next morning, when he got out of bed, he felt dizzy, his vision blurred, and he had to hold onto the wall to keep from falling. Have you ever wondered how a fruit so full of water could cause such a dangerous feeling? The truth is, watermelon has a very high water content and a strong diuretic effect. Eating a lot at night causes the body to flush out water repeatedly during the night, leading to mild dehydration while you sleep. When the body is dehydrated, the blood becomes thicker. Its viscosity increases, and that raises the risk of clot formation. For older adults, even a small clot traveling to the brain can cause a transient ischemic attack, or worse, a full-blown stroke. Do you realize that just one night of disrupted sleep due to frequent urination could be enough to push that risk even higher? Watermelon isn't inherently bad. The real issue lies in the timing and the amount you eat. During the day, especially in hot weather, watermelon helps replenish fluids and provides vitamins. But in the evening, particularly right before bed, its strong diuretic effect disrupts the body's fluid balance and promotes blood thickening. This becomes even more dangerous if you already have cardiovascular disease or high blood pressure. So, if dehydration is already a concern, there's an even more silent danger that comes from a fruit you may think is harmless, a fruit that can quietly turn the very medication protecting your heart into a double-edged sword. Would you like to know what it is?
4. Oranges and grapefruits, the hidden drug interaction. Did you know that just one grapefruit or a single glass of fresh orange juice can turn the medication you take every day into a dose that's far too strong for your body? Clara, 70, had been taking her blood pressure medication for years, with all her readings staying stable. One summer evening, she ate half a grapefruit to cool her liver and went to bed. The next morning, she woke up dizzy, with her blood pressure dangerously low and her heart beating so slowly that she had to sit down on the floor. Have you ever imagined that such a refreshing fruit could drop your blood pressure to a dangerous level? The cause lies in a compound called furanocoumarin, found in grapefruit and some varieties of oranges. This compound inhibits a liver enzyme called CYP3A4. Which is responsible for breaking down many medications, especially those for heart disease, high blood pressure, and certain blood thinners. When this enzyme is inhibited, the drug isn't metabolized as it normally would be, remaining in the bloodstream longer and at higher concentrations. The result? Side effects such as sudden blood pressure drops or dangerous arrhythmias become far more severe. The alarming part is that most older adults are never warned about this interaction when prescribed these medications. Are you certain you know everything the fruit in your kitchen can do to your body? Oranges and grapefruits are rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, and if eaten during the day without interacting medications, they are absolutely beneficial. But for someone being treated for heart disease, the timing of consumption and the type of medication being taken can be a matter of life and death. And here's the thing, drug interactions are only one of several ways fruit can become a risk to your brain. There is another fruit, small, sweet, easy to snack on, that contains both sugar and compounds capable of triggering inflammation in the brain's blood vessels. Can you guess which fruit that is? 5. Grapes, sugar and vascular inflammation. Have you ever sat in front of the TV in the evening, eating grapes as a way to relax before bed? Margaret, 66, had that exact habit. She would keep a bunch of grapes next to her chair, snacking away while watching the news until they were all gone. But one morning, she woke up with mild numbness on one side of her face and arm, along with difficulty speaking. Fortunately, the symptoms lasted only a few minutes and were diagnosed as a transient ischemic attack, or TIA. But it was enough to make her completely change her eating habits. Would you have thought that such a sweet little dessert could cause something like that? Grapes, especially the sweet, seedless varieties, contain high amounts of fructose and glucose. Eating large quantities at night causes blood sugar to rise rapidly. When blood sugar is high, the body responds by releasing insulin and inflammatory mediators. In older adults whose blood vessel walls are already thinner and less elastic, this inflammatory response can cause mild swelling of cerebral blood vessels, reducing blood flow and, in some cases, triggering the formation of tiny clots. Additionally, grape skins contain flavonoids, which are beneficial in moderation, but when combined with excessive sugar, some flavonoids can oxidize and generate free radicals, increasing oxidative stress. Do you realize that something as seemingly simple as just fruit can set off a chain of harmful biological reactions while you sleep? Grapes can still be healthy if eaten in the morning or before physical activity, when the body can use the sugars for energy and take advantage of the antioxidants. But eating them in large quantities at night, especially right before bed, will spike blood sugar and inflammation precisely when your body needs rest and repair. And if sugar and vascular inflammation are already risky enough, imagine combining them with another fruit that can thin your blood and interfere with its natural clotting ability. Would you like to know which fruit that is? 6. Pineapple. Bromelain and blood clotting disruption. Have you ever eaten a few slices of fresh pineapple after dinner to help with digestion? John, 69, had kept this habit for years, believing pineapple was not only delicious, but also good for his stomach. One morning, he noticed his gums were bleeding excessively while brushing his teeth, and it took quite a while for the bleeding to stop. At first, he thought it was because his new toothbrush was too hard, but upon examination, we discovered the real cause lay in his late-evening pineapple habit. Would you have guessed that such a refreshing tropical fruit could affect your body's ability to clot blood? Pineapple contains a natural enzyme called bromelain. This enzyme breaks down proteins, helping food digest more quickly and, most notably, has the ability to inhibit platelet aggregation, the process that helps blood clot when there's an injury. For healthy individuals, eating pineapple in moderation poses no problem. But for older adults, especially those taking blood thinners such as warfarin or aspirin, bromelain can increase the risk of bleeding, from bleeding gums to easy bruising and even internal hemorrhage. The danger lies in the fact that this effect is silent, producing no immediate sensation, and only when a bleeding event occurs does the person realize something is wrong. Isn't it alarming that a seemingly harmless food can amplify the side effects of medication in this way? If pineapple is eaten during the day, the body has time to metabolize it and adjust clotting factors before you sleep, reducing the risk. But eating it in the evening, especially right before bed, allows bromelain's effects to persist throughout the night, coinciding with the body's natural drop in blood pressure and heart rate, conditions that can set the stage for more dangerous events. And now, after understanding the hidden risks from packaged fruit juice, bananas, watermelon, citrus, grapes, and pineapple, the biggest question is, how can you still enjoy fruit safely without putting your brain and heart health on the line?